Hello, everyone. Welcome to One Global Movement Building Hopes and Dreams, where we speak from the heart for our children, women, and young people. And happy, fantastic, fun Friday. When it's Friday, my body just tells me, now I know I don't have to do things in order for Saturday and Sunday, even though I will still do things, but not like running around. I'd really take the time to rest and cook some good food. That's why I always say happy soul food Sunday. Cook some good food. This time around, we're going to do some roasted fish, exactly the way they do it in motherland. Yummy, with some
Yummy.
vegetables and some thing that they call barbalo. It's made out of cassava tuber. They call it in French manioc, and very good. And then with some ripe plantains and some saute vegetable that we have at the back of our yard here. So it's gonna be fun, and I hope you guys are going to also enjoy the weekend with some fun food with family. Imagine sitting around the table with family talking. After you eat, you talk, you watch a good movie, you tell stories, you have fun, and you laugh. Isn't that beautiful?
It
And I
is,
know
sister.
that you always do that with your daughter. That is a
I
beautiful.
do, yes.
So
I
welcome.
do.
Thank you guys so much, and I'm wishing you guys the very best. And thank you for always supporting One Global Movement, whether here or off stage. That is what we need, because to raise children, to nurture them, to educate them requires our attention 24/7, especially during those early years of life, the first 7 years. It was before 5, but now we increased it because of the challenges that uh, children are facing around the world, the distractions. So, but we are here. We will do the best that we can to the best of our ability, and we keep
Mhm.
moving forward. So, but we thank God for life. We thank God that we are working together. We are not alone in this journey. So, thank you so much, sister,
Mhm.
and
Thank you,
thanks to
sister.
everyone here. And
Mhm.
we're going to talk a little bit about Juneteenth, and
Mhm.
because we were supposed to do a topic on this, but there's a lot of things, and when I look at the topic, I'm like, we need education is number one, but education, and but we also respect these holidays. So, and what is Juneteenth? Juneteenth is a U.S. holiday that commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. It
Mhm.
marks the day, June 19, 1865. That's a long, long time ago, when Union soldiers led by Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced that all enslaved people were free. More than 2 years after, President Ibrahim, oh, President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, January 1st, 1863. It is celebrated as a day of freedom, reflection, and African American culture, recognizing the struggles and contributions of Black Americans throughout history. I do that because, number one, we all need to pay attention to everything that happens in the world and every person, regardless. But I place emphasis on this more so because I'm a Black person. And to celebrate, to recognize, and to say thank you to my ancestors that went through this and also contributed to the development of the world is a very important thing for us to do, regardless of whether they were good or bad. When somebody does something good, we never forget about that thing. So
Mhm.
dear creator of freedom and light, this is what I wrote. Dear creator of freedom and light, on this Juneteenth, we thank you for the victories of the past and the promises of today. Let every hungry child be led. Let every forgotten girl find her voice in a classroom, in her home, in her community, with what God has given her. Let poverty become history, not destiny, because We were not born with poverty. We were born with riches and prosperity. We are one global movement. We rise to protect freedom. We rise to nurture minds. We rise to love, and we rise to build a world where no one child, not even any individual, is left behind. For children, Juneteenth reminds every child that your voice matters. Your dreams are valid. And you need to really say this to yourself because the dreams are valid. They don't have to be like any other person's dream because you are unique. You are the apple of God's eyes. You were given differently. And therefore, embrace it and know that your dreams are valid and your future must be fed. You must feed your future. You must nurture it. You must work on it. You must be determined. And you must know that you have everything it takes to work on that future. And when you relegate it, when you commit it in the hands of God, things will happen. Doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. No, it means that God is going to equip you with the things that you need to go through every situation, every challenge in life. Because those challenges, a lot of them are there for a reason.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and we need to feed our souls, not with hunger, but with love, learning, and liberty. Learning is a lifelong thing. So, we as one global movement, we say, you are the living proof of that freedom. You are, because you are. You are just, you are. That's the way you were created. Children
Yes.
are the living proof of freedom. You know, it's not just a day. Juneteenth is not just a
Mhm. Mhm.
day. It's a mission to read, to grow, to build, and to rise beyond poverty. One book, one meal at a time. And one global movement really wishes you this. And for women, what do we say to women during this time of Juneteenth? Juneteenth honors the freedom of our foremothers. Our foremothers. Now it's our time to build a world where no woman cries for hunger, silence, or struggle again. No woman weeps because she does not know where the next meal is going to come from for her child. No woman weeps because she's not eating healthily in order to breastfeed her own child. Everything is there. It depends on you. It depends on me. How are
Yes.
we treating this population in the world? This is very, very important. And the freedom celebrated on Juneteenth lives on in every woman, because you are the ripple effect of every society who rises to feed her children, educate her daughters and her sons, particularly the daughters, and break circles of poverty with courage, or circles of traditional poverty caused by certain traditions or systems or whatever. We need to break that. And so we can never speak without a young man. For young people and youth leaders, we know that they are the builders, they are the leaders, they lead me every day. We know that they are
Mhm.
around us. Your daughter leads you. Juneteenth,
Yes.
not just a history, it's a calling. It is a calling, a call to lead, to learn, and to lift others up from the shadows of ignorance and scarcity into the light of purpose and power. And you and I are called to do that. You are not just the future. This is to the youth. You're not just the future, you are the freedom. Juneteenth is your fuel to rise boldly and shatter every chain of hunger, illiteracy, abuse, segregation, discrimination, and limitation. And these start from the home, because discrimination starts from the home. Otherwise, it will not be out there. Oppression starts from the home. Let us treat our children equally, without choosing side, without picking, because they feel it. And when they feel it, it usurps their spirit and they start to look down on themselves. So true freedom is feeding your mind. Let's feed our minds, fueling our bodies, not just physical food, and fighting for a world where no child goes hungry. No girl is left behind, and no dream is buried by poverty. So, Juneteenth is the heartbeat of our global mission: freedom not just to survive, but to thrive in knowledge, wellness, and joy. So,
Amen.
that is it for today for Juneteenth. And thank you guys so much. And we are in One Global Movement Revolution Part 3. I think I made a mistake in the numbering or something, but it is part 345, the ripple effect. The ripple effect, how educating one woman can uplift an entire generation. Let that
Mm-hmm.
sit for a moment. This is very, very important. Why we
Mm-hmm.
say that? Educating every child is very, very important.
It
But
is.
the ripple effect of educating one woman, one young girl, how it uplifts the entire society. It begins with the family. It begins with uplifting. When you uplift a girl through education, what happens? She will in turn uplift her entire family,
Yeah.
beginning with the children. That is very
Yeah.
important. And so we
Mm-hmm.
place so much emphasis, and they are the multipliers of the world. We
Yeah.
know that. So the ripple effect, how educating one woman can uplift an entire generation. And so the power of one. Let us, the power of one. You can't get to a million without the power of one.
Yeah.
One now and one to end. It always goes like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
at the heart of One Global Movement lies a simple but world shifting truth. When you educate one woman, you don't just transform a life. No, you awaken a legacy. The ripple effect of empowering one woman through education moves like a wave. Women take things, they run with it, they multiply with it, and they see what they can do with those children. But keep in mind that there are some women that are unable to do that for one reason or the other, which we know. But in this case, that's why One Global Movement is here to pick after them. So it will move like we're reaching her children, her community, her nation, and ultimately the world. We are here. You guys are in a different country. I am in a different country. But look at how we are reaching over the Atlantic Ocean through this technology. This is what we are talking about. That way, we don't have to pay transportation to go. We can just do it here, and we are doing it. Isn't that beautiful? This is great technology, and this is all through the Creator, because
Amen.
technology and the creator, the interwoven, if we use it ethically. This is very important. So, as
Mm.
One Global Movement servants, our mission is very clear. We know that every day, as our sister always emphasizes on that mission, to invest in education of women and girls as a fundamental strategy to end hunger, to
Mm-hmm.
eliminate poverty, and to build generational wealth. Generational. You're working now, not just for you, not just for 10 years to come, not just for 20 years,
For the
for
rest.
200 years, for 1 million years, because it starts with you. And then the other person adds on top, and we keep moving. You keep moving, so that when we lay down in our grave, we'll be smiling, knowing that, like my grandmother is smiling on me every day, knowing
Yes.
that we empty out ourselves into the universe, and therefore we did what we were assigned and crowned to do by the
Mhm.
creator. So that is
Yep.
very important. We're not
Yep.
just talking here. This is so true. If you do this thing, you'll be so happy. You don't know how happy I am. That I do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I'm still happy
Of course.
because I know that I am fulfilling my mission. But am I always right? No. Sometimes I get upset too, but I will still come back to that point to say, you know what? I have been given choices. I
Mm-hmm.
I have been given so many second chances. So why don't I utilize it? Because it takes a lot out of you to stay angry, to stay frustrated, than to look for ways to be happy. That is very,
Yep.
very important. So
Yes.
when you educate a man, you educate an individual. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation. This is an old African proverb. And I am from that concept because the community came together to educate one woman, one young girl, one child. and that child is me. It is now my turn. Like we said before, they carried us on their backs. Now
Indeed.
it's our turn to also carry others on their back. And so let's. I made a little. I copied from my sister here. I learned from you. I used to make acronym, but I forgot about it. Now, educating one, ONE. Educating one woman can uplift an entire generation.
Yes.
O
Yes.
stands for opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunity. When we educate one woman, one young girl, we open the door to opportunity. Not just
Amen.
one, not just two, not just three, opportunities. I have too many opportunities. Now, sometimes I get confused, but we need to focus. What is your mission? What is your
Yes.
purpose?
Yes.
What is your assignment? What
Mm-hmm.
why? When we focus like that, and then we just direct our energy on what we've been called to do. Not just one, not just for her. When
Yes.
we say the woman, it's not just for her. We know that we are behind that woman, but for her children, her community, her village, and her nation. She becomes a
Mm-hmm.
builder of bridges, a carrier of dreams, and a torchbearer of progress. They always lighting the way. You might not a physical light, you light it from the heart, you light
Mm-hmm.
it from your soul, and you light it from the still small voice within you, from the inner eyes, not the physical eyes, the inner eyes. That's
Amen.
yes, I have been called to do this regardless of what comes my way. I'm going to do it anyway. And then N stands for nurturing. Who here has not been nurtured by a woman? Who here has not been nurtured? So educating one woman nurtures generations with wisdom, strength,
Mm-hmm.
compassion, and purpose. Think about Mother Teresa, what she was doing with those children in India. Think about that. She was a woman, and she is still living in the hearts of many. It's
Amen.
in my own heart as well. So her growth becomes the woman's growth becomes a soil from which justice, peace, and possibilities spring forth for the world. And
Yes.
this is a call to women. When we are acting like when women in my culture are pregnant, just like the scripture says that beware of what comes out of your mouth and beware of what you set your eyes on,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it says when you're pregnant, you don't look at certain things because children, though we think that they are just a fetus in the womb, guess what? They understand, they see with their mind's eye. And so that is so important. And so we want love, when love all the time, whether you're pregnant or not, you're thinking about becoming pregnant, or you are breastfeeding, or you are educating a child, or you're going to whatever. The woman should carry with her love, peace, and possibility that springs forth for the world. Always smile. Even if it's not going well, give a smile to somebody. Check on somebody that doesn't have a family and see what you can do for them, right? And
Yes.
so, one, E. What does E stand for? Empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
Empowerment begins with one woman who discovers her voice. I discovered my voice in the United States. I had the voice, but but it wasn't. I couldn't speak freely, you know.
Yes.
But now
Yes.
I can speak freely because I'm grateful to the United States. I'm grateful to all of you here because it's because of you that you have empowered me to really speak, to really say things, even though sometimes I still make mistakes. So I am very, very grateful. So empowering begins with just one, not one woman. Because when you hold the hand of one, there are so many behind that one. And therefore, you've held the hands of many. But one woman who discovers her voice, her vision, and her value. What's your worth? What's your value?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not the ethical values that we portray. What is your value? That kind of value that comes with calmness, with peace, with love. That kind of value that says, I'm going to do this, just do it. Let the world see, not you broadcasting it with your own mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Education places the pen of destiny in her hand. The pen of destiny. You know, I have special pens of destiny right here. So these pens have been with me for a long time. But this kind of pen is the kind of pen that comes from the mind. So when you start with your mind, go to the
Yeah.
next way you can write well. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
places the pen of destiny in her hand, and she writes a legacy that liberates others, and not to show off, not to put things in people's faces, but you want to be able to liberate others. So the power of one woman educated is not just a statistics. We're not talking here about statistics, even though we are struggling, because in certain areas, like where I grew up, kids were going to school, but I was the one that was chosen not to. But thank God for my grandmother and the village. But in certain communities, women are seen as statistics. So she is a spark of revolution, not just a statistic, a symbol of transformation and a promise to the future. The ripple effect begins with her. It begins with me, and I am so happy and grateful and highly blessed that I'm a woman. And sister too is. And all of us women should really be grateful. Though it's sometimes tough, but we need to be grateful because we are symbols of transformation and a promise to the future. The ripple effect begins with her, but it never ends with her. It never
Yeah.
ends with us. It never
True.
ends with the woman. So the and the educated woman uplifts families. Sister, if you want to take it away from there, so that we can just go back and forth, let me sip a little something.
Please go ahead. So yeah, the topic is says it all. The ripple effect, how educating one woman can uplift an entire generation. And it highlights a profound truth. And it's not just about the interconnectedness of society, it is about the interconnectedness of societal progress and individual empowerment. This is a big world changing thing we have here, this effect, the ripple effect. It's not an exaggeration to say that investing in a woman's education is one of the most effective and sustainable development strategies.
Mhm.
The ripple effect isn't just a metaphor, it's a well documented phenomenon with far reaching societal benefits. It's a well documented phenomenon. It really
Yep.
works like that. The premise that educating one woman can uplift an entire generation might seem ambitious, but when we look at the empirical evidence, it becomes clear that this is a foundational truth
Mhm.
that's sustainable for sustainable development and poverty alleviation. And I
Mhm.
divided up into all kinds of different headings. Like the first one is the mechanism of the ripple effect, health and well-being first for me, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Educated woman is far more likely to understand and implement better health and hygiene practices for herself and her entire family, right?
Yes. Yep.
This directly translates to lower child mortality rates, improved material and maternal health, and a reduction in preventable diseases within the household, because this is
Mhm.
where she dominates, right?
Right.
They are also more likely to make informed decisions about family planning, leading to healthier spacing for children or of children and reduce strain on the household resources. So that's one thing that comes from being educated. And then you
Mhm.
talked about the economic empowerment and poverty reduction. Education equips women with skills and knowledge, increasing their earning potential, right? This
Right.
isn't just about individual income, as you said. It's about significant contributions to household income, leading to improved nutrition and better housing and the ability to invest in their children's futures. We're
Mhm.
talking futures here, not just today, not just eating for your belly today. We're talking about building on what you didn't have. You see a better future. When women earn, they tend to reinvest a significantly higher percentage. When women earn, they tend to reinvest a significantly higher percentage of their income back into their families and their communities compared to men. These are
Yes.
also statistics. You can check it out for yourself. We're not just saying it, it's true. Statistics prove that. And I know because many of the nonprofit organizations, especially the smaller one that I use, they are predominantly showing me that. And they also repay their loans so they can build. They don't default. This is facts, statistics, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm really pleased to report on that, often prioritizing their children's education, the health and nutrition. This creates a virtuous economic cycle. They don't default on loans, and so they go forward, right? And
Yeah.
of course, we could not address this topic without speaking of the iconic little Malala, all
I
right?
know.
we cannot we
Yeah,
cannot
little
do this.
girl,
My
Malala.
little girl. We cannot do anything with education without talking about that with her one pen, one teacher, one book, one blah blah, right? It
Yep.
says it so much. Malala is one of the most iconic figures of this ripple effect, but there are so many others. Okay, so many
Mm-hmm.
others. We all know her story, but Oprah Winfrey came from that idea as well, right? She
Yep.
came from
Yep.
abject poverty, and education is what rose her. Then
Yes.
there's someone called Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She's in Liberia. Her story: educated in Liberia and the United States, she became Africa's first democratically elected female head of a state, right? So
Yes.
she's not just joking. The ripple effect, as president, she championed education, especially for girls,
There you go.
recognized its critical role in rebuilding a post-conflict nation, because a lot of conflict happened there, but she's
Mhm.
rebuilding. Her leadership and policies focused on improving access and quality of schooling, laying a foundation for future generations. We're always thinking about the future. We are multipliers and future thinking, future generation to thrive, promoting gender equality in a region where it's often challenged. Okay, sister,
Mhm.
take it away. All
That
right.
is so beautiful. I'm glad that you give those women as example, and most women are like that, unless they don't have the means or health situation, or
Yes,
maybe
yes,
the
yes.
president of the war. Where I'm thinking here about Dr. Tererai Trent. Dr.
Yeah,
Tererai Trent is also Oprah Winfrey's very close friend. And you
yeah,
can imagine a young girl in, I think it's in Uganda. And she's an older woman now. And
mm-hmm.
she loved to go to school. She wanted education so bad.
Badly.
But the father wanted her to be married,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
very young too. But she resisted. She resisted. She told the mom, "Mom, I want to go to school." Said, "No, your daddy will kill us. Your daddy will kill us." No. And what she did was she wrote her dreams in her book. I bought her book. She wrote her dreams, like I did,
Mm-hmm.
in a piece of paper, on a piece of paper, and bury it in a can somewhere in the,
Ah,
because they won't let her write or talk about anything. It's the same thing with me. My grandmother said, because they tear your goals and your dreams all the time, they tear what you write. Let it stay in your head. Write 2 copies. One copy will go under my foundation. One copy will go with the ritual of the mantle of hope, so that when I am no more, even when this house goes down, you can dig it up if you need it, but put it here. My grandmother made me for months to put everything in my head until I can never forget reciting it. It's still with me.
yes.
So this is so, so important. So the education, educated women uplift families all over. A mother
Yes.
who can read becomes her child's first teacher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she passes down knowledge, builds confidence, and models resilience. Her influence on nutrition, healthcare decision, like you said, and early education creates a foundation for lifelong success. And here, I want to place emphasis, because a lot of times when they talk about education, people are thinking only about people with higher degrees. No, no. It starts from the home. When you acquire the right moral education, the rest can come in any form. It can come about learning a skill, learning to operate a business, learning in your own language. Do not let people put you down because of a paper certification. So, this is so important. Whatever you're doing, that's your education. Embrace it and grow with it, because it is there for a reason. You're thinking about it because that was what was given to you. So, the empowered mother is a seed of a thriving society. And
Yes.
the educated woman strengthen economies. We talk about that a lot. When a woman is educated, she gains access to better opportunities, earns more income, builds
Mm-hmm.
generational wealth, and reinvest 90%. You talk about that higher percentage, reinvest 90% of that
Yeah.
income or the business back into her family and community. She becomes not just an economic participant, but a multiplier, the ripple effect. So educating a woman fuels an economy more sustainable than any policy ever could. So, more
Yes.
sustainable means, like you said before, not just for now, not for tomorrow, not just for 5, 10 years, for
Mm.
life,
For
for
life.
life unto the end of times. So,
Yes.
start now by educating her so that she can set that foundation that her generations will take and continue to build on that and to also build others around the globe. So
Mm.
educated women break the chains of poverty. Knowledge is the key to breaking generational poverty.
It is.
If
It
we're
is.
not born with poverty, poverty is man-made and poverty is of the mind. So a
It is.
girl who finishes, that's why I always say here that educate your children. The number one thing to invest into is to buy a piece of land, no matter how small,
Mm.
1 acre. That 1 acre, if you know what to do, just plant trees. Those are
Sure.
investment trees. The value will go up in 5, 10, 15 years. Maybe you bought it for, say, $10,000. Guess what? It will go up to, you will sell that piece of land, you'll be surprised. 10,000
Yes.
becomes 20,000. That is one funnel of income. And what if you can buy even more than 1 acre? That is very, very important. So educated women break the chains of poverty. Knowledge is the key to breaking generational poverty. A girl who finishes secondary school in some places is high school, is less likely to marry young, more
Can I,
likely to earn a stable income. You want to say something, Sid?
can I interrupt you, please? Nancy Judy is saying that she's trying to get in, so I don't know if you're not seeing her or whatever.
I'm not seeing, I don't know what is up with this stream yet. Huh. Let me see. I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know what.
I'm going to put the link in the right here in the chat. There's no reason because if somebody else wants to come, that's okay too. Yes.
Yes. Nancy, I don't see you. I would have brought you up because I keep looking.
I'm going to put in the
Okay.
chat.
She's here now. Aha.
Okay. Okay. Good. All right. Good.
Are you on now, Nancy?
Yes, but she's
Yes,
muted.
I'm on. Hello, everyone. Oh my
Hello.
goodness.
Hello. Hello.
Thank
Hello.
you. Welcome.
Oh Lord, this is woman because I've been trying to get in. The
I'm
minute I
sorry.
open my computer, it's saying you need to update your computer. I said now. Then I've been waiting. Nobody sees me. So I said, finally, let me try another way. Let me put it in the groups and see if somebody can see me. This is
Oh,
woman. So we are
yeah.
very patient.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Nancy. Since we changed this StreamYard, sometimes it's giving me a headache because they want me to keep paying because we are paying $60 is 60 something dollars is something that we can help other children instead of paying 60 something dollars a month. So
Wow.
we're trying to be manipulating me sometimes, but we are here. We thank God for everything. And thank you for joining us here, Nancy. It's been a
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
good.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes.
So the classroom is not just a room, it is a revolution. Let's
Yes, it
not
is.
say, oh, I'm going to sit in the classroom. Oh, yeah, I'm close. I'm going home. No, it's a revolution. It continues. And every educated girl is the leader of that revolution. So, one global movement believes in building a world where no girl, I am a girl, is left behind. And I fought never to be left behind. And I'm still fighting because I don't want nobody leaving me behind. I wasn't born to be left behind.
No,
All
none of us were. Yes.
particularly the young girl, you were not born to be left behind. Continue to do the good work, and the light will shine upon you in the world. Our global
Amen.
initiative equip women with literacy, right? Leadership, vocational skills, and mentorship programs that transform, especially our children ambassadors, into community change makers. And you cannot transform a child or a female child without beginning with the mother. So the mother is included in whatever programs that we are doing, and therefore the father as well, but we are talking about the mother or the woman through grassroots educational programs, scholarship
Mm-hmm.
programs, and policy advocacy. We are planting seeds in young girls today that will blossom, whatever you say, will shine for generations to come. So you educate a girl today, and her grandchildren will still be thanking you tomorrow. Okay?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
happened. Nancy, you want to contribute, sister?
Yes, I've been listening. Oh, this is interesting. It's very
Yes.
interesting topic today about women.
Yes.
Woman is born magistral. We are the one that teach men, so they have to learn. We are the one that teach men. So educate a woman, it educating the entire world.
Yeah.
So there is no more point like this. For us women, we born educated, but when you send a child, a girl to school, so it's another way of reaching, the other side of the world by educating other people, because we educating a child pregnancy in the womb. You started teaching that a child, even you don't go to school, you don't need to go to school. Women don't need to go to school to educate somebody, because by the time the child is born, we started educating the child. Even we don't know, we didn't never been in school. We educate that child. We know what it's right, we know what it's not right. We tell them to stop. This is good education. Parental education, it's very good. Some people, they think that women need to go to school to. No, we born with it. We born to educate the entire world. But
Yes.
when a child, a woman go to school, so it's another way of reaching the entire world because of that education that we get from school. But for us women, we are born to educate. We are born to, be patient. We are born to be, to educate one another, because we educate girls, we educate, girls. But I don't say that, we don't want to leave men behind at all, but women, we are born to, to do it.
Yes.
So if, reaching another way by going to school, so this is a way of helping the future, humanity, the society, another way. But at home, this is what we do:
Yes.
educate
Yes.
every day. So we teach our children to be learning, especially you were talking about the teens, June teens. So this is not one day we have to celebrate. We have to teach our children to go and read what happened,
Yes. That's
and
history. Good.
yes, that we can continue, not with anger, but we have to do it that we can learn that
Yes.
that's where we came from, where we're going. So it's a way of teaching our children, the past. It's not, we're going to get the past and educate ourselves to be anger, but we're going to do it and learning. We're going to experience, get the good part of it, and continue with the world. And then tomorrow we all wish to have another, a better future, because the way that the world is going now, it's not really good. But if we educate, we take it from down, little girl, little boys, we educate them, we let them read the history, where we came from, where we are right now, where we want to go tomorrow. So we expect to get a better future.
Wow. That is so beautifully said. Thank you so much for being on stage here today. And I'm really glad that you made it known. By nature, we are not being cocky, we are not being proud, but we thank God for the gift. Because who else can nurture a child? That's the way God created it. A mother. Even all our men, we always say, mama, mother, mother, right? But we thank God that these children are here through through two parents that are involved. Because when a woman is educating the child, the father is also out there fending to feed the family, doing one thing or the other. So by nature, it just comes, because that's why they say the woman has a milk of human kindness in them. That means by nature, you just do it. You do it sometimes without knowing. Even when they are not feeling well, they still have to take care of those children. And Juneteenth, thank you for saying that, because learning our history will help you to continue to build and to help better. Knowing that history, the past is gone, it is to educate yourself to be able to help better. What else can I do? What else, what did my ancestor did that I can continue from there to provide solutions to some of the challenges that we face in today's world? How can I mentor a girl child? How can I mentor a boy child, especially the girl child, so that they don't become victims of all what is happening to them in the world, especially during this senseless war, or during a divorce, or certain things. It happens more to the woman, but the world is in a state of confusion that it's almost like it's the same now. So, but thank you so much, Nancy, for being here. We love you being here. Thank you, sister. If you have anything, you can go. But when after that,
I just want, yes, I do want to just say something. We're not talking about any one sector of the global population. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. We're
yes,
talking about every supposed, whatever the decisions whatever the divisions we've created in this world, because we're one human race. But
yes,
we're talking about every culture has good things that they want to build on. That is very important that we point that out. We're not in favor of any one culture above the other. We all have good things to contribute to the progression of our world, right? And so each person in their section, whatever it is, what is good and uplifting in their culture, in their community, build on that. And we can't avoid knowing that in general, it's the woman that spends a lot of time with the young ones, with the child. So she, of course, has more influence when it comes to that, because we have roles. I know that they're changing, and I'm not going to go with that right now because I can't control that. But the man is the protector and the provider. That is how it's been traditionally. It's sure it's changed now. But the woman is the nurturer. She's the one who does what she does, how she speaks to the child, how they interact, how she nurtures, as you say. It's a key word, nurturing, because children are not looking for wealth per se. That you don't have to give them everything materially, but you have to give them your time, your love, and your care, your presence. It is so important, because even if you're sitting on the floor and eating a simple meal, here is a time to tell your children to be grateful for this, but there's so much more that they can achieve. And that is what we're supposed to do, because that is the only way that the world moves forward. Legacy building it doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to have big bank account to build legacy building. You have to have this, the heart and the desire. And women can definitely inculcate that in all their children, because you have so much time with them. You speak nicer to them. I love what Sister Sharon talks about. What is it? Stop, drop, and listen. Is that what she said?
Stop, drop, and listen. Yes.
Always be available. Always be available. It's a priority. Next to God, raising your children is a priority. I don't care about the excuses about putting food on the table. There's no point putting food on the table if you have no connection with the children and they have no connection with their futures. So that is what I'd like to add, sister. Thank you.
Thank you so much for saying that. Yes, it's across all generations, all society. It does not matter. So, and that's why we're always inviting people here. Come on, speak, say something, because we like to learn about all the cultures in the world, because we are dealing with children. We want to be able to know a little bit of here, a little bit of there. But
Sister Mundih, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Please look at the chat. I don't know where John is, but this person needs to be taken out. They're calling themselves whose father what goes, and he's saying that we're all scammers. I don't think we need that kind of energy here. It's almost at the end of the chat. Please just block them.
Let me see. Push
Number 3 from the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. That's good. We don't need this.
We don't need that kind of energy. We're very positive here.
We don't. This is what disturbs children. That's not a good thing. When they go and think this is
Exactly.
not. But so thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for doing this.
Yes.
I was thinking, because although we've been saying this, we cannot just go without really pinpointing why. What are the disadvantages? What are the barriers for
Mm-hmm.
the female child or the woman to acquire an education? We've been saying that, but we want to pinpoint them. And then what can we do with these barriers? What can we do in order to eliminate these barriers? Like what we are doing here, really doing it in action, not
Mm-hmm.
just talking. We are saying what we are doing here. You cannot want to help without creating that awareness, global
Yes.
awareness, so they know that we are here. But
Yes.
action and more action is what matters. So
Yes.
number one is poverty. And we always have to remember, you were not born poor, you were not created poor. It is a
Oh,
man-made thing,
yeah.
and poverty is of
Exactly.
the mind, just like
Yes.
riches is of the mind. We have to be able to look into ourselves, retrieve back into ourselves to see what can we do for ourselves that will help us to also do for our children, so that they will continue that legacy of prosperity. What can we do? And prosperity starts with our well-being, like you said, love and nurturing. It starts
Yes.
with your health. When you
Mm-hmm.
have that health, and the child knows that my mommy, my parents, they love me. My mom was educated. My mom was not forced into early marriage. It is a very good thing to do that. Or my mom was not the education was not cut short, or my mom was enrolled into institutions or into businesses that would teach her skills. So families with limited income often prioritize educating boys. That was
Mm-hmm.
my case. Viewing girls' education as a less valuable investment.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and I was told categorically that. So many girls are forced into work early, and
Mm-hmm.
or early marriage to support their families financially.
Yes.
Sometimes I cry because as I research and as I travel and as I see what they send my way, you see a mother, not to blame the mother, not to blame the father, not to blame the parents. They send their female child into prostitution because they cannot afford a meal, they can't eat, they don't even have a home, and a lot of things. And so a child as young as 9 years old, 10 years old, 11, 12 are sent into those kind of things. And men without consciences, great grandfathers start sleeping with those children. And so these are the things that we can say openly, but we can also find ways to correct these things. So many girls are forced into work early or marriage. So
Yes.
poverty steals more than food. It's not
Yes.
just food. Poverty steals more than food. It steals futures, futures
Yes.
that were created by Almighty God to bloom, to prosper, and to help others to prosper. This is very, very important. And then
Yes.
child marriage. I have to talk about this because I thank God and I thank my grandmother and my village. Child marriage and early pregnancy.
Yes.
Girls married, they really married.
Yes.
Girls that are married before the age of 18 are often pulled from school
Mhm.
permanently in certain communities. I've seen it, and it's still happening
Of
today.
course. Of course.
Early
Yes.
pregnancy can cause health risk and
Yes.
disrupt educational program. We talk about obstetric fistulas because I
Yes.
have seen that, and Nancy will know that because you are a nurse.
Mhm.
I have seen that in my community where when a girl, a female child, is pregnant and
Yeah.
give birth to a baby before they turn 18 or older, they develop obstetric fistulas.
Fistula.
In
Yeah.
this country, they also develop, but because of a good medical system, they are being treated, they take their vaccination and all of those things, so they don't go through that. But I've seen in my community where young girls die, you know. And so a
Us.
girl should carry books, not burdens.
Pardons,
We teach
yes.
them to carry books, not burdens, because when we do that, we are giving them burdens, and we need to educate our young men. Please, that's why we need to. We're going to be coming up with topics about sex education, you know, and and
Mhm.
and and what. our kids should focus on. And if it's time for them to want to think that they want a girl, they should think twice first. Did you have your education? Did you work on your goals and your dreams? What have you planned? You don't want to impregnate a girl that you cannot support the child. You don't want that. We don't want that. So this is very, very important. Let's give them books, put businesses, put 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 skills
Yes.
into their hands and their hearts, instead of burdens that the child will grow up to continue with that burden. Because when you do that to an already impoverished girl, what
Right.
do you
Right.
expect? She doesn't have skills. What is she going to teach?
Yeah.
She didn't have the morals. What is she going to teach the child? This is very, very
Absolutely.
important.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
and you guys might have other factors, but
I want to talk about in Burkina Faso and Bangladesh, girl-friendly schools initiatives, right?
uh
This approach, the programs that focus on building girl-friendly schools,
okay,
example, closer to homes, with
uh-huh,
separate latrines,
hmm,
school meals, and female teachers, because a lot of those schools, Burkina Faso, I believe, is predominantly Muslim, isn't it?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So you know that they're going to probably prefer to have female people
Hmm.
that they interact with, teachers and so on, or providing scholarship and stipends for girls' attendance for them to buy their personal items that they need, right?
Hmm.
That will make it more comfortable for them to go to school. And the ripple effect of this is that these initiatives have led to significant increases in girls' enrollment and retention rates.
Hmm.
As more girls complete school, communities see improved health outcomes, as you were talking about, reduced rates of child marriage. There's no need to do that because you're getting an education and you're going to be independent, which is another reason why I think that in some cultures the women get married off. The young girls get married off so early is because they're not seen as assets but liabilities. Is that not correct? They're going to
That's
be a
correct.
drain on the,
Very
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's very hard because I mean some of these cultures are so far into what you know what I mean. But it's like
Mhm.
it's somebody's culture. You have to respect that until it's eventually phased out by education again, of course.
There you go.
Because when you open the mind, you see, as I said, I've seen situations where a young woman has gone to North America, for instance, and she's learned different things, and she's learned how to go home and speak to her elders in a respectful way and have a dialogue because I believe in collaboration and balance. And then eventually, just one person in the elders community will see a different pattern of doing things and they can change the whole thing as well. So education is a marvelous thing because it
Yes.
does have a ripple effect, right?
Hmm.
And it's not just for women.
Yep.
Anyone who opens their mind can see
Yes.
different ways of doing things. So the educated girls, in turn, prioritize their own children's education, and so it creates a sustainable cycle.
It does. It does. I
Yeah,
really like to say latrine. Latrine.
yeah, that's a good thing, Sister Yvonne,
Latrines, yes.
because
No,
if the government is started doing this, that's a good thing, because this is what our society showed us, that girls doesn't need to go to school, they need to
yeah,
be in at home. But if
yes,
the government discovered that it's a good thing for children, girls started going to school, so what you said again, by educating them, we're going to have a different society tomorrow. Because
absolutely.
letting these children getting pregnant at 16, 17,
I know. Mhm.
not even able to take care of that child, it's a
Exactly,
child taking care of a child.
exactly,
So it's
exactly.
really a burden, especially
Yeah.
on the other families.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
It's really bad.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
So
This is very, very I so love what we are talking here today. And it starts at home. It
It
starts
does,
with you,
always
it
does,
starts with us.
always.
Because like there is a saying in the African culture that when the house gives it, the outside will take it. So why don't we give education, the moral education?
mhm.
And when you talk about the latrine, you see that even in the scriptures, there is a place for the woman to go ease herself. There's also a place for the man to go ease himself. And so
Yes.
in the world of today, that things are being confusing, the children get confused.
Of course.
Imagine a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old child being confused. And if we are not there to direct them, because we ourselves are confused, what will become of that child? So this is what we're advocating for. And it's a call to the government. And I know that some of us here work under the government. Let us write policies. Let us advocate for policies that will really help these children, help the young boy and also help the young girl.
And even if we can't do that directly, sister, let us find people on the ground who are really doing that, because there are so many, like this one, like One Global, so many other organizations that are focused on these kinds of things. And let us donate our time, our money, because as you always say, it's such a little, especially from the money, but from this side, when we do it there, the transference is so great sometimes. $10, $5, $1 sometimes makes a difference, as you say, because the one book, one pen, just what Malala says, it's not always going to be from the top down, because yes, it's good to have government, help, but they don't always focus on those things, right? Because they're looking for profits, because they're bound to a different regime. But we know that the children are the future. We're not just saying it. They have to be, because we're fading away. We're going to be passing away. Exactly. So they have to be the ones that we put our energies in now while we can. And there are many, many, many places they just don't get the high profile that they should. But if you look for it, there's everything that you want to support, from clean water to education to health to everything. There is always something that you can do. And we are multipliers, as you keep saying. That's what we do. So we can do something. It's not overwhelming. It's just start where you are, from your community.
Start small,
Exactly.
Start small.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And the one thing I was going to give an example, even though the program stopped, is one of One Global Movement's program that I wanted to support these organizations that takes care of young girls during the senseless war in Cameroon. A lot of these girls were displaced. They were living in the bush, and a lot of them were being raped, and they're pregnant very young. And so one of the things that I was going to do is I started buying things from some of the outlet stores here, like materials that are brand new, but
yes,
they are cheaper. So I still have some here at home, together with the things that I sent, because I wanted to start producing sanitation pads for young girls. Yes. And I spent money because it was going to go through a women's cooperative that I tried to establish, but people are not honest. So that one was gone. So I thought, you know what? When Wasi would be the one, because Wasi is one of the volunteers for One Global Movement in Cameroon. We will get back to that, because young girls don't have sanitation pads at all. And imagine a young girl with their menstruation, nothing to wear, and even it's a dirty piece of cloth. Can you imagine the infection? So it's small. $20 can start something. It can. And now the world is so open with all this high technology. You just go online and learn, teach yourself how to make a pad. Those are some of the items in the program for Smiles in a Bag. We pack the bags differently because we know the needs of the boy and we know the needs of the girls. And so we do things. And by the grace of God, we are working so hard. Tomorrow, we will go around the world. By then, some of these our children ambassadors, they will be the ones to be teaching other young girls. So we buy sewing machines, and we need to teach, not just going to read and education, practical work. I have a little that I said I was going to use. I bought a big machine, brand new one, to ship to Cameroon. But when they messed up that program like that, I donated it to another lady that will send it to an organization that they can use it. So we can do more. And it will come a time when we will, by the grace of God, contribute even $1 here, $1 a month, so that we can take that money and start working. You're talking about water. Water is essential. It is life. We're going to come again with a topic on water here. Very important. And then on nurturing, nursing, like Nancy.
Yes, absolutely.
On nursing, and let's talk about it. And let's talk about water too. These are things that we need to talk about, because when we educate these young girls on water, we educate them on nurturing, nursing. That is the most
infections.
important
Yep.
things. Yes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
very, very important. And so we talk about this cultural and gender norms. In some cultures, educating women is discouraged or even
Yes.
forbidden. They
Yep.
sent me last year, they sent me a picture from which country. I tried to call the embassies here to find out where that little girl was being beaten. This girl is only 10 years old. She sees other children going to school and she wants an education. The father, they went and looked for a great father to come and marry her. And she went in, took her books, and wanted to go to school. They beat her so well, almost killed her. And they sent it to me, and then I started calling the embassies here to find out, you know.
So,
But the
yeah, I know.
people that I was finding out here, they didn't want to help in unpassive. They were instead getting upset, you know, that I was doing
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I did until I couldn't get any answers and let it be. So
Yeah.
we have a long way to go.
You know,
And
because we know it's still happening, sister. So even if we can't find a specific person, we still have it on our heart and in our capabilities to do, as you say, one child at a time.
At a
If that's
time.
the way it has to go, that's the way it has to go. But
and
we can do
we can do more.
we can do it. We can do it. We can do more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we cannot go without talking about this because it's there's no point for this. There's really no point. It's
There is
all
not.
because of power, greed. It's all because of inferiority complex. That is
Yes.
why things are happening in the world. Because if you don't have these factors, there's really no need to stir trouble for anybody in the world. If you
Exactly.
know who you are, whose you are, why you were created, there is really no need to think that you're better than another person. There's really
I
no
know.
need to think that power has to come only from you. No. Violence and unsafe school environment,
Yes.
gender-based violence, harassment, or long dangerous journeys to school discourage attendance. Some kids, they're
Yes.
being raped by soldiers that you go to protect people, but you're there raping women. Conflict zones increase the risk for girls who try to pursue education. And that's why it's a call for us mothers and parents. Do you walk with your child to school? Forgo everything and make sure that your child is safe. Because if your child is not safe, what is the essence of you working? Who
No.
is going to? Who are you working for? We have been called, we have been commissioned to be stewards to these children, and it is our responsibility to
It
take care.
is.
Take
Being
them.
a biological parent or not, it is our responsibility to do so.
Yes.
So that is so. Safety in a school is not a privilege; it is a right.
Right.
It is.
It
It
is a
is.
right. So thank you very
Absolutely.
much. So if you have anything, go ahead and add it. Otherwise,
I'll give Sister Nancy a chance to finish up because
Yes,
I don't.
I'm about to leave, so it was a
okay,
pleasure.
okay.
Okay, it was a
I better
pleasure
take
seeing
off.
you.
Right
It
now, you have
was
to
a
go and listen to
pleasure. So we're planning for the summer, for our children to come and say hi to the public, to our people. So Dr. Mundih is planning about that.
Okay.
But they were supposed to come for Father's Day, but they were still in school, so I couldn't reach
Okay. Yeah.
all of them. Yeah, but they're so excited yeah, to talk about what they learn at school. So
Of
we're
course.
planning about that. So thank you, Dr. Mundih,
Ah,
Sister Yvonne. It
thank you,
was
my
great
dear.
to see
Thank
so
you
you.
much for
guys.
helping us here. The other ambassadors, they are not happy because the internet is not good. But
Oh,
It's not.
thank you
Lord.
so
Yeah.
much. And these kids are so bold. I hope you play the message to our beautiful.
Yes, I did. They are
Those
so
kids are so
excited.
bold. Okay, it's like they're teaching me. And then
Oh,
next week we will tell you what our schedule will be, and we will pick what we want to talk. I say, there we
I
go.
think that's so
you
wonderful.
should see. You should listen when they're talking about one global movement. Oh my
Wow.
goodness! It's like oh, I'm going in the world because I'm going to see our children. We're going to play together. It's like they have a plan.
But they're already doing it. That's why
They have a plan.
thank you
I
so much.
love that.
Thank you for really coming on stage today. We always enjoy you when you're here with us.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I really appreciate it. But
It's been too long. It's been too
I know,
long. So
I
do it
know.
again
I
soon. Do
will
it
come
again
back more
soon.
often, especially now it's summer. So we will see
Exactly.
more
There you
often.
go.
Yes,
So
thank
I
Okay.
you.
love you
We
both.
love
So
you.
Love you both.
okay,
Bye
so
bye.
everybody on the chat, I love you guys. You know, even you don't
Bye.
see me, I'm still working behind the scenes. So
Okay.
Okay,
that's
my
what we
dear.
all
All
Yes,
right.
of
have
course.
to do, one day
Yes.
Have a
at a
great
time.
weekend. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
Love
Bye.
you.
Bye bye. Okay. We have thank you so much, Sunil. Thank you always for supporting us here. We highly appreciate you and happy weekend to you and your family. And thank you always, sister. I thank God that God brought us together through our CEO. Otherwise, I would not know somebody like you. It's like you are doing the same. You're doing it on the same schedule like me, but
Yes. Thank you,
sometimes when you
sister.
say, I'm not going to do that, I just laugh. I say, oh, she will. She's going to do it anyway.
She's going to do it. Yes.
But thank you so much for
Thank
your
you, sister.
heart and for taking care of this population in the world.
Thank you for this platform. It's really a life changing mission. It really is good to be focused on something that's so it's so important because, as I said, if not for these children, what future do we have? We're not the future
No,
anymore. You
no,
know, we have to now set them on a right path. And not to say we're doing everything right, but some of what's happening, we need to correct that because it's crazy. I'm sorry. Like,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hmm.
And our managing director, how are you, John? Thank you so much for doing what you're doing in the world for children. We highly appreciate you, John. And let's go down here. Okay, I will check the message, John. I will check tonight because after this, I'll be on the run. That, but I will still come back to it when I'm about to go to bed. I will check. And this is our link, please. We always ask the least you can do is to share this link on all your social media handle. You can take it upon yourself to say this week, I am going to get two people to like and follow One Global Movement page.
Yeah.
That would be so nice. That is so easy to do because it's the age of social media and the internet. So let us do this. This will help us to get tools and resources that we need for these children. So thank you. Hello, sir. How are you, Razehab? Thank you so much for always supporting us here. We appreciate you. And we have Kada Mastan. Welcome here. If you're new, you're welcome into this global family for children and women worldwide. We highly appreciate you. Come again and also bring some with you and spread the gospel of One Global Movement to all corners of the globe. And Ashidi Sagma, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here. And I know it's late for some of you guys, but you took the time to be here because you know why you're here. We appreciate
Mhm.
you. And let's go down here if I don't miss anything. And here, thank you always for putting this here. If you subscribe to StreamYard, $10 is going to go towards helping children of One Global Movement. If you need to do StreamYard, please do so. And $10 will go here because I think they got to put One Global Movement for referral or something.
Yes, yeah. But that's
Yes,
the number there, so they will know it right away
they
when they
will know
use
it.
that link.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
let's go here. I am doing double duty again because I am seeking a new apartment and I am here but a bit distracted. Please participate as you will, folks. Thank you so much for telling us. We wish you the best, John. If you're seeking a
Hmm.
new apartment, get an apartment that you really love, okay? Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
We
exactly.
have our brother from the sunny Pretoria. Thank you so much, Brother Levy, for always supporting children. And thank you for building your family. We appreciate you. Okay. Yes. We are wishing you the best, John. All of us here wish you the very best.
Absolutely. Hmm.
And we have our brother Srijit. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you so much for your support, your presence on and offline for Children of One Global Movement. We highly appreciate you. Thank you. We have Praveen Kumar. We miss you, but you're here today. How are you? How is your family doing? Thank you so much for joining us from that end. We appreciate you. And thank you, Roazahab. Roazahab is emphasizing everyone, please like, subscribe, click on the bell icon for latest information. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the season. We are so in it to win it. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you for helping that way. We highly appreciate you, sir.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And let's go down so I don't miss. I know you're also watching
No,
me.
yeah, you're good. You haven't missed anybody.
Hamider, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us from that end. We highly appreciate your support and your love for children. Thank you, sir. And what are your authentic values? Not to please the world, but will be generationally empowering, especially for those who have been excluded traditionally. And besides, even in a country where those traditional values are not there, in schools they exclude children, they sap
Yes,
their confidence, they make you
yes.
feel bad, and you're doing something. Even when you fail, they laugh at you. This is not good.
No,
It's
it's
not.
not. It's
We
not.
have to teach our children all of these values so they know that even if you laugh at me, I know who I am. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I know who
Exactly.
I've been created to be,
Yeah.
and so I am going to move on to do it regardless of what. When
You're
we
right.
build
You're
so
right.
strong, they don't care about you. Will talk, and then you'll be to go and laugh at yourself by yourself.
Yes, exactly. That identity is so important. Nothing can shake you when you have that.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
Nancy is gone. Thank you so much, Nancy. We're happy.
I'm glad I saw what she said. I thought she was just saying hello, but she was saying, I'm in the chat and I want to come in.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Hello, Sir Ojala. Thank you so much for your presence and your love for children worldwide. We appreciate you so much. And Kay Malathi, how are you, sir? Thank you. Nice educative program.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
yes, thank you so much for being here and for standing up for children worldwide. We appreciate you. And thank you so much, John, for welcoming everybody uniquely. This is
Yes,
so respectful, and this shows love here among us as a family. Thank you so much.
yes.
And we have Sir Ashakuma. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for being that strong pillar that we need here for our
Mm.
children. We highly appreciate you. And we have Rajat Himachal. How are you, sir? Thank you so much. We miss you, but you're here today. How is your family doing? Extend our love and regards to everyone in your home, okay? Thank you so much for
Mhm.
being here with us today. What is this? I was reporting them to YouTube before removing them, but Yvonne took them out, so I couldn't finish reporting them, but I did hide them from the channel. Okay, John, next time, okay, I would just let it be, okay? I didn't know that you were doing that, but that's a good step that you're taking to report them because they're not supposed to be here. Those are the kind of people that we are talking about that are setting these children in confusion, which we don't want here.
Exactly.
Yes, thank
Exactly.
you so much, John, for letting us know.
Yeah.
Tevin Prince, how are you, Prince? Thank you so much for joining us from that end. We highly appreciate you here today. Our regards to your family. Thank you. And of course, again, this is our Facebook page link, One Global Movement Building Hopes and Dreams. Please do well to copy the link and share it on all your social media platform. That is one thing that you can start doing before we get to other things. This is what we need to do because the work that we do with this is going to attract people with resources that is going to help us. That's
Yes,
why we
absolutely.
emphasize that we do it. When you do it, I do it. Maybe you take upon yourself to do maybe 2, 3, 5 people a week. Just keep sharing. Let it be part and parcel of your posting on social media
Right.
because this is the
Right.
way to go is social media.
Right.
So thank you so much, sister. The conclusion is yours.
It's short again. It's just the ripple effect. I really like how that says it because it's, as you said, it's not just for you. It's not just for today. It really is a future movement that we're doing here. The ripple effect is essentially about breaking negative intergenerational cycles. That's what we aim to do. We
Mhm.
don't care what the reasons are. I mean, we do care, but we're not going to get stumped by that. We're not
Mhm.
going to be looking back and trying to solve that. We're looking forward. So when a woman is educated, she disrupts the transmission of poverty and illiteracy from one generation to the next, creating a new legacy of opportunity and progress. This is what we're doing. This is
Yes.
what our mission, part of our mission here is.
Thank you
as
so
it
much.
applies to the woman. Yes. So thank you,
Thank you
sister.
so much. And we wish you guys a fun, fantastic weekend with your family. Be sure to give hugs to your husband, your wife, your children. Have that big, good meal that comes from the soul with your
Yes.
family. If you haven't started that yet, it's a good way to bond with your children. Is that education starts right there to know that sharing is caring, and do it with your family. If you have not started, please let your ego down and let's do it. Okay?
Amen.
You become the
Yes.
wisest person and rise above it and do it so that others can follow. We love you guys, and until next week, bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you.